Hello guys, what's going on? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage. So today is a special day. I'm sure you guys saw it in the title of the video, but I am ecstatic. So a big part of the engine build is here. It's one of those things that, you know, you keep looking at the UPS, the tracking, like, all right, where is it now? Where is it now? Is it on time? You know, all that kind of stuff. Well, anyway, today's turbo day. Well, our turbo has arrived, and as you guys can see, we went to Garrett. Well, there she is. Here is our Garrett turbocharger. This thing is heavy. I can't wait to see what it looks like in person, but apparently the shipping weight is like 65 pounds. So before we get to opening up our turbo, I want to go over a couple things, guys. So we got the turbo through Ryan Milliken at Hardway Performance. He is the one who tunes our truck, who tuned it before when we ran our 1019, when we were making 1,000 horsepower on a stock bottom end. If you don't know him by name, you surely know his car. He's the one with the green Nova. So anyhow, with conversations with Ryan, well, let me back up. With the whole build, when we decided to step up to the engine and something that's going to be good for 2,000 horsepower, I realized it was time to get other people involved. Not just kind of, you know, this size injector, this turbo. It was time to get people who do this for a living, you know, the professionals involved. So with talking with Ryan, with talking with Freedom, with talking with our transmission guys and torque converter people, we're getting everybody on the same page. So when we built the engine, we were talking to Ryan, we kind of spec'd the engine, the fueling, all that together. And then when it came time for the air, that's when we got with Ryan. So we're actually going with just a single turbocharger. Now, why is that? Well, I'd love to do triples because, well, they look cool, but drag racing, like our application, you can't really use the torque. So if you look at a lot of the big drag racers, Ryan, the Fire Punk guys with the Pro Mod S10, Ben Shaddy, all running a single, for the most part, Garrett turbocharger. I think all the ones I just listed actually have a Garrett turbocharger, and I believe they're all the same size that we are going to be running. So anyway, guys, enough blabbing about that. Like I said, got this through Hardway Performance. Hit them up if you have any interest in something like this or for any of your performance needs. Ryan is certainly a wealth of information. But anyway, let's open this thing. I'm just so excited. All right. Ooh, holy crap. Holy Jesus. Wow. Oh, that is awesome. Holy shit. Wow. Well, guys, there's our new turbocharger. So, yeah, this is a Garrett GTX 55. It's an 88 millimeter compressor. It's a ball bearing turbo, and it's absolutely ginormous. I honestly wasn't expecting this thing to be that. You know, you see something like this on an engine, it's impressive. This thing by itself, it looks humongous. It looks so much bigger than our old turbo. You know what? I'm going to grab the old turbo. I'm curious because this thing is just, wow. I mean, look at that thing. And then the, look, I mean, just look at the turbine. It looks like a salad shooter. We could just shove a carrot in there. Man, That is sweet. All right, guys, so I'm gonna grab our S476 that we had on the truck, and yeah, I'm curious to size these things up. All right, guys, so here is our old turbo and our new turbo next to each other. This thing is ginormous by comparison to this S400. It's just amazing. So just to reiterate what we had, what we made 1,000 horsepower with, this is a forced induction Borg Warner 476 87 with a 1.1 housing. It did have a 0.9 AR exhaust housing or turbine housing before, and it has a T4 foot. This is our new GT55 Garrett. It's an 88 millimeter. It is a, I think it's a 137 AR housing, and it's a T6 foot. Now, what makes this different, that 137 AR, like I said, is it's a divided housing. These are not something that's made anymore, from my understanding. This is actually something that's hard to come by. They're a little more expensive, but that's kind of what helps these things spool up, as well as our other source of air. I told you guys we weren't going with triples or compounds or anything, but as I had alluded to in a previous video, we are going with some nitrous. We're going to start off small, baby steps, just a little spool jet and all that. But this is our air, our new air. This is our old air. I mean, it is just, this is a journal bearing turbo. This is a ball bearing turbo. But just the size difference is amazing. So some cool things about the Garrett turbochargers, from what I've been told, they all are the same as far as inlets and outlets. So if whatever our setup is exhaust wise and intake wise, or whatever, this will be the same. The backside will be the same. So what I'm getting at is we could step this up to, say, a 102 or 106 millimeter charger. Everything will bolt right up to it. So that's pretty cool. The exhaust housing, like I said, I don't know much about it. I think it's from like an old Detroit or something line, like an old industrial line. They had these divided housings. They have to be machined to fit. Where you can get them, the only place I know of is Hardway Performance. I'm sure there are other places, but that's who I dealt with. I honestly would not have even known this existed unless Ryan had said something about it, but he said that's really going to help spool up rather than having an open exhaust manifold or open exhaust housing. So I want to take these things apart and check some things out on them. Check out our compressor wheels, our turbine wheels. Just the size difference is amazing. I'm so excited. You know what, guys? It's getting dark. We're gonna move this into the garage. All right, guys, so I have our two turbos here side by side. I just want to kind of go over them. Now, something that's really cool about going from an S400 to the GT55, our compressor outlet, it's exactly the same. So we don't need to get another one of these. I certainly need to clean it up so, kind of matches the Garrett. But yeah, that's awesome that we can do that. And it's probably going to require some piping modifications to the intercooler, but yeah, that's just nice that we don't have to buy this little thing or come up with something completely different. So yeah, let's kind of take these things apart. Wow. Yeah, there is a very large difference here. That is awesome. I mean, wow. So just look at the size difference between the S400. I mean, just putting my hand next to it. I mean, this thing is just massive by comparison. Just wow. This is really cool stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. This is just awesome. So we'll pull the exhaust housings off and see. But I mean, just look at the compressor cover size. I mean, it's just, wow. It's just, Big Bertha right there. I mean, that's, woo, that thing, woo. So there's our 2 turbos all laid out. Our compressor covers, our turbine housing. Like I said, this is a 137 AR, as you can see right there. Divided exhaust housing. Man, it's just massive by comparison. The turbine wheel here on our turbo, the Garrett, is just, wow, that thing is impressive. It just makes this thing look so small and tiny, and the S476 is not the smallest single turbo to run. I mean, obviously it's not the most massive, but anyway, guys, I know I'm sounding kind of like a child, but yeah, I'm like a kid in the candy store. I think I already said that. I'm just so excited. Anyway, you might be wondering why I ripped this Garrett apart. There is good reason for that. I didn't do it just to show you guys. That's a plus. But we got our turbo, we got our engine. We got to see how they look together. We're going to hang that big Garrett off our T6 Steed Speed competition manifold. See how she looks. Yeah, now that I'm looking at the engine, we're not going to do it now, but maybe this winter we'll get the compressor cover polished. I don't know. It would certainly look good. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang this thing on the engine, see how she looks. Man, look at that thing spin. That's awesome. Wow. Well, that is sweet. I'm thrilled. That thing looks awesome on there. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the turbo, especially if we get that thing polished eventually with our fleece intake manifold, our D&J dual timing cover, it'll look great. I don't know. I'm digging the D&J cover with the black. Kind of give it a little offset with our fluid amper and our Waterman. Kind of really sets everything off. I don't know if we had a polished stainless manifold, if that would be a little too much, or if it would make things look a little better. I definitely know we need to clean up our tensioner and our alternator because they kind of look crummy. But man, this thing, man, it just, yeah, that's, man, I'm tickled pink. I am absolutely tickled just looking at it. Alright guys, so as I'm sure you can tell, I am extremely excited about the new turbo. I had actually originally planned on working on the truck a little bit tonight. I really hadn't figured out what I was doing, whether we were going to attack the rear window like we did with the Lexan on the windshield or what, but put the turbo on there and I got to thinking of ideas, and then I started looking at some wiring, and anyway, kind of lost track of time. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with that right there, that's for sure. So in our last episode, we put our windshield in, and the reason we did that when we did that was because that was a lot easier without that in here. So that being said, this is done. This can go in here. So hopefully that'll be the next episode, guys. Next time I talk to you, hopefully we're going to be putting that bad boy right there inside the frame rails of the truck. I'm giddy thinking about it. But that brings up a host of new work. So once we get the engine into the truck, we're going to have to figure out our intake setup. We're going to have to figure out our exhaust setup, because remember we had that selectable hood stack idea that I toyed with. Well, not only that, but this turbo has a 5-inch outlet. So we're going to have a 5-inch hood stack, or maybe we'll change things up. I haven't decided yet, because we got to go, we got to kind of reinvent the wheel as far as that stuff's going. We got oil drains, oil feeds, lots of stuff like this to do. We got to plumb our head for our coolant. We got to run our wires. We got a mess of stuff to do once this gets in there. Basically putting the engine in there is just going to start off a whole new set of work. I don't want to say it's problems because it's all stuff that we knew was coming, but we got to plumb our fuel system. We got to do all kinds of stuff. So anyway, guys, I'm hoping that we can stab this thing in those frame rails, hopefully early this week. Hopefully that'll be the next episode. I really hope to, because then we can get everything, start mocking everything up and just really start progressing with the build. I mean, I've never heard this thing run in person, and I'm dying to hear it run. And I can't wait to get the thing up on boost. I can't wait to get a transmission in this thing, get this thing running, and just hear that thing whistle. I'm excited, okay? So anyway, guys, I know we just kind of talked about the turbo. I'm sorry, I meant to get a little work done, but I mean, wouldn't you be excited right now? I mean, come on. Would you be able to get anything else done? Anyway, guys, enough joking around. I'm going to try and clean this stuff up. Pull the turbo back off the engine. We don't need another thing in our way when we're trying to put the engine in the truck. I'm going to clean up our old S400 that we're not going to be using anymore. Get that back in the basement with the other half of the truck. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you guys check out the next video when we're hopefully stabbing that thing in there. But anyway, get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.